I am not inviting debate, I am setting the record straight. Comment was made in Parliament yesterday, despite my request to desist, that Parliament had received the Principal Auditor's report on the 13th of June and not actioned it. In a press release issued yesterday evening at 8:30 p.m, the opposition repeated that assertion, essentially raising concern and highlighting their disappointment that the Speaker had not as yet replied to the opposition's letter of last Thursday. It does the opposition no credit that they should be so ready and so insistent to cast aspersions on the parliamentary office before being in full possession of the facts. Criticism between opposition and government and opposition is one thing, but careless imputations upon parliamentary independence and integrity is quite another. This matter was raised behind the Speaker's chair, but has now been addressed in Parliament and by press release, in such a way as to make it necessary for me to read the reply I have sent to the Honourable the Leader of the Opposition, and which I have copied to the Honourable the Chief Minister and the Principal Auditor. Although the identity of the Principal Auditor, previous and current, is a matter of public record and appears in my letter, I will anonymise it for the purposes of reading the letter to Parliament. The letter is to the Honourable the Leader of the Opposition. I refer to your email of Thursday evening, the 26th of June at 19:31. Knowing me as you do, you will rest assured that the institutional independence of Parliament is a matter which I safeguard and protect closely as a key element of my role as overseer of Parliament, its procedures and processes. You will also know that I take very seriously any allegation of a compromise of parliamentary independence. In the matter under discussion, I can confirm there has been no such compromise. On the issue of procedure, my position with regard to the laying of reports, according to my interpretation of the rules and statutory provisions, has not changed since my assumption of office and is reflected in a letter I wrote to the previous Principal Auditor dated the 10th of December 2024, a copy of which is enclosed for ease of reference. The various discussions that I had with the previous Principal Auditor during the course of last year culminated in that letter, to which I never received a reply. In the absence of such, I assume that he agreed with my approach. I have had an introductory meeting with the new Principal Auditor and arranged to meet with him after budget for general and specific discussions. Turning to the question you raise with regard to the delivery of the report of the Public Accounts 2018-2019, the report to the Clerk of Parliament by the Principal Auditor, the following is relevant. I can indeed confirm that on Friday the 13th of June 2025, the Clerk accepted the report from the previous Principal Auditor, Mr. X, who he believed to be the Principal Auditor. The 20 copies for laying and distribution amongst MPs were not delivered with the report, as would be the norm, and have not been delivered to date. As I understand it, Mr. X stepped down from his post as Principal Auditor on the 31st of May 2025. Following inquiry, I have received confirmation that there was no express or implied authority given to Mr. X to continue carrying out his duties after the cessation of his period of employment. As far as I am aware, there is no implied continuation in the legislation allowing the Principal Auditor to continue acting as Principal Auditor post-termination until a successor is appointed. The current Principal Auditor took office on the 1st of June 2025. Assuming my information as set out in the preceding paragraph is correct, a serious issue arises here which not only may potentially breach statutory provisions and other laws, but which may have grave and far-reaching implications beyond this. It would appear that when Mr. X brought the report into Parliament qua Principal Auditor, he was neither, and knew he was neither, Principal Auditor nor an officer of Parliament. My understanding is that powers, duties, and independence attach to the office of the Principal Auditor and not to the individual, so that after the 31st of May 2025, it would appear that Mr. X no longer held statutory authority to act as Principal Auditor. If that is the case, I question with grave concern that 13 days after he vacated office, Mr. X should have been in possession of the report and that he should have submitted it to Parliament in those circumstances. I was hoping to have made a final determination on this issue before replying to your letter, hence the short delay. But events have forced me to reply now. I have yet to determine the practical effect of all of this. In the interim, my view is that Parliament cannot properly accept and action a report received in circumstances such as these. In the interest of transparency, I am copying the Honourable the Chief Minister as Leader of the House and the Principal Auditor into this thread, and it may be that the matter may need to be referred to His Majesty's Attorney General for their consideration and advice. A further concern for me is the source of your information following Thursday's parliamentary session that the Principal Auditor delivered a copy of his report to Parliament. I am satisfied as to the professional integrity of my team, and so it seems to me that the logical source of that information can only be the previous Principal Auditor or someone on his then team. Please confirm if that is the case, and if not, then who brought the delivery of the report to your attention on Thursday the 26th of June? And there ends the letter. Since sending this letter, I have this morning received a further letter from the Honourable the Leader of the Opposition, which crossed with this letter I have just read. I will consider its contents fully and how it impacts on the circumstances I have set out above, and deal with the same going forward behind the Speaker's chair.